Well, here we are back in Mittenrahm once again at Morel. I'm not sure if I've actually clarified it. Morel is actually the swamp, and this part of the forest. This particular part is called the Witch Haven. So, which is where I'm mostly focused right now, trying to really get all of the buildings in place that I want here. So this was a struggle. It had massive full rainbow bridge actually curving around on this lowest level flat, and I decided to use it as a means to go up. And it was miles too bulky, and took some doing. Eventually just reduced it to the colors of the build itself rather than the full rainbow. Like bringing it out here, which is way too much. I'm not super happy with it. I think the mushroom itself could do with being bigger. I'm not entirely happy with the mushroom, to be honest. It was left like this. I've filled in this, but I'm not really sure it's worked either way. I'll probably take a few passes at it along the way just to try and get it right. I may need to lower these as well. I feel like they're just too high. Do something with these. It's just bits and pieces that just aren't sitting right. So obviously moved on to this. We finally lifted the house up and built the actual house rather than just having a roof sat on the ground. I didn't really change much. The lower building doesn't really look much like the original from the other streamer. I just went with whatever I could fit in, really. I didn't want to go crazy. I wanted to keep it small. Do what I could. But yeah, I feel like it came out good. Obviously trying to create a strawberry patch. These are supposed to be leaves. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about that. But something definitely needs to be done. I think part of the problem is this is kind of how a strawberry plant looks. The leaves go up and then there's these branches coming off where the fruit is growing. Or the seed-bearing edible material is growing. Fruit. I'm not sure. Anyway. Not really coming out in the way that I was hoping. And at this point I don't really know what I'm going to do about it either. But it's not too bad a start, I will say that. How long is this? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3. I think that's the problem with this one. It needs to be shorter. It's the same length, but it's not as tall. We'll play with that after I'm done with my review. So, where do we go next? Oh yeah, Blueberry Hill. It is supposed to be in blueberry. Doing the top was awkward due to the scale. I'm not really sure what else I'll be able to do in this little region with this. I'm not even sure I'll be able to do a little blueberry patch. There's a little space somewhere around here that it could go. It didn't come out too bad. I mean, it's a duplicate of the other house. The only real difference is the roof is slightly taller and rounded. So, I think I slightly need to alter Oh no, it's shorter, rather, so it makes it look more rounded, and it affected the way that the this design came in. But yeah, not too bad. Standard design. I've got one more of these planned, and there may be more later, but for now, I just want to fit one more in. Maybe there, possibly here. See, that may not be very good. I may need more space. It's going to be the same concept. There'll be some sort of theme to the roof, and I'll want to do something nearby. This does look like a good spot, but there's plans for these. And I don't want to occupy this space until I know where this is going. Putting some groundwork for bringing water in from various locations. This will be done eventually, obviously as part of the rebuild of the forest, which has been progressing. I'm not entirely sure what the state of the wood or the forest was when last time I was here, but I'm going to mention that this probably wasn't here, I think. I actually quite like this place. I don't know, it's kind of got the slightly ethereal feel to it, slightly magical feel, like you're standing somewhere special. Probably partly helped by the faces. Not every tree has one, but many of them do. I did spawn a bunch of frogs, but because I'm working in the area, the mobs just keep moving around, and they get further and further away from wherever they were spawned. So now they're just nowhere near where I want them. I mean, most of them aren't even in the actual forest I've been working on anymore. If I can even find them. But, I mean, the same thing's actually happened with the Halloween mobs. I named a bunch of them, but they just wander well away from where I actually found them. And one of them's all the way over there, I think on the other side of that bridge. I was quite pleased with this. It's just two trees winding around each other. It's a little indistinct, unfortunately. Oh, I'll put this in as well. A little hut for miners. I've been messing around with the water as well, but I'm not happy with it. And this may continue on, it may not, I don't really know at the moment. And starts all the way up here. Because then we finally got this bit. So you can see from this side it's clearly webbing. Unfortunately, the book that goes on the front is... I mean, the book itself is fine. It takes up a little more, I think, than I envisioned, but the webbing is not as broad as I envisioned either. These were built on top of two existing trees, so one of the base, part of the base, is directly over where the tree was growing, which should have been fine, but when I marked it out initially, it was like, oh, this is too long, like 16 by 16, so it's just going to recreate the Minecraft web. I wasn't going to put these on the trees, but I put a couple down so that I had references all around to look at, and then realised that it was kind of a nice touch, and added a few more. But doing the 16 by 16, or attempting it, was the wrong move. I brought the tree in. Technically this one is not really leaning in, but this one really is. The actual tree itself should be going up like that, so it would be 2 or 3 blocks longer. But basically from this side, the book is obscuring most of the webbing, and I don't like that. Usually things drift away from what I had in mind, but sometimes that's more annoying than other times, and this is one of those times, unfortunately. I did try some Blackstone variants for the writing, but it didn't really work. And then I later decided to actually put in these large symbols in amongst the writing. This one tends to work better because it's still flat, as where this page is partly drooping, which breaks the lines and gives this weird stepping effect. But this is supposed to be the book containing the greatest 7 spells that you need to be a witch or a wizard. I don't know what the 7 spells are except for the last one, which is the cure for a stiff neck. But yeah, see, I put this platform on top of, well, this one's actually on top of where the tree was. This one gives the best view, but it's actually off center. It just makes me feel more and more like I really ought to move the book over. If I move it over 1, you see there's a little bit more of the web visible this side. But then it obscures the same thing on this side, which is why it might benefit from having been slightly wider. But yeah, that is everything. It's gone fairly well. I'm leaving behind a lot of headaches, little tweaks and things that need to be done. Let's work down here still, work on that, bits for that. Still stuff to go in, obviously. I think I'm going to take a break maybe today and work on the shielding, the shield wall, the stone wall ridge rather, that will block off this path. And then take a break, basically do something away from it and not really think about it too much. Maybe throw in a tree as well, we'll see. But I shall say adieu and get on with it, starting with this.